gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, sports fans! Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports that happened this past week. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
I'm okay. I'm just, wondering, if there's anything else that's going to drop before this season starts.
It is a very, very interesting start to the NFL season. We will get into it. We've got a lot to cover, believe it or not, tonight. So we're kind of excited about that. We do ask if you are live. Join the chat. Let us know what you think. I mean, this is going to be a big story right off the bat. But we've got a lot to cover. So we will talk about any sport you want to talk about. Just let us know. Before we get into our show, Ron, let's thank those that continue to help Sports Unfolded grow. First and foremost, 99.1 WDJY FM in Dallas, Georgia. Thanks for putting us on every Saturday at 1 p.m., as well as 990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island, on every Saturday at 10 a.m., as well as SECTV, Public Access Channel 12. Thank you for putting us on every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. We appreciate the support. If you're watching or listening at any point on those platforms, please let us know. We suck again, Jay. I'm glad you are on tonight, James, because we got a Dallas Cowboy fan in the house.
Good timing, James. Good timing.
But we've got a lot to cover. Thank you, James, for joining. If you are just like James and want to talk about this big story, let us know what you think as well. I do have probably the biggest split decision that you will ever see Ron flip out about. You need to stay tuned for that one tonight, because this may be the one, Ron, that makes you quit.
I'm already on edge with all the aggravation with editing and stuff.
This may be the one, Ron. This may be the one. I promise you this split decision will be one of the craziest we've ever done. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, Ron, are you ready to kick this party off?
Sure.
Let's get it started with our leadoff story. And that is the Dallas Cowboys have traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Did they get this move right? Was this the right decision for the Dallas Cowboys? I'm sure James is going to chime in as well.
Well, I don't, we talked about this when he made that post. We had talked about it. And everybody's like, I think it's, just him trying to position himself better. No, there was words in that message that clearly upset. He was so upset that he wanted out.
Well, I think there was bad blood on both sides with this. Is Jerry ever right?
No, you know what though?
Right. I almost want to side with Jerry Jones on this.
No, you don't.
I do. And I'm going to explain to you why, though.
You just want to get my blood boiling.
No. Listen. I think Micah Parsons was trying to make a stand. And if he makes that stand and Jerry Jones caves, then it becomes Micah Parsons' team, not Jerry Jones's. And I think in some aspect that had to happen with Jerry to say, listen, you know what? We had a deal, regardless if the agent wasn't there or not. You went back on that word. I'm a kind of guy that takes your word for what it is. Maybe, you know what? This isn't a good fit for us. Maybe this isn't the right decision for Micah Parsons to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. There's been questions about Micah Parsons' work ethic in practice. There's been questions about his desire to want to play football more than do some of these other things, like the podcasting and all that other stuff that he does. To pay this guy the highest paid salary in the league, after all this would have happened, Jerry Jones would have sat back and he would never have leverage again in the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, listen to that thunder.
So if I lose power,
Eric's going solo. But I think you've got to look at it that way from Jerry's. It's Herschel Walker trade. But in one aspect, I don't think Micah Parsons. Listen, he's a great player. And there would have been a ton of teams that would have wanted him. I'm not saying he's not deserving of being signed and being one of the highest paid players. I think the way he went about this was all wrong. And I think Jerry Jones had to make a decision that ultimately put Jerry Jones as the leader of this team. That's where I'll side with Jerry Jones. I think it was that once Micah Parsons made those comments and did those things, it almost created the path where there was no path to go back to the Dallas Cowboys. And
right.
None of us want to see that because we just think, oh, it was just Micah Parsons would have signed a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. He would have went in that locker room the next day and told every one of those players, I won this. And Jerry couldn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, that's another way to look at things. There's both sides of the ball, right? I mean, you got to, I think with egos, I think there's a problem with who wants to be the alpha.
100%.
And, whatever the reason is, when he had that meeting with Jerry Jones, his feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
Danny, in whatever way it was. We are not there. We can only go by what the two are saying. And frankly, I don't believe anybody. There's got to be a happy medium.
I will say this too, Ron. Think about this part. Danny is in the house. Thank you, Danny. I will say this too, Ron, though. Think about this part of it. Emmitt Smith held out. He ended up signing Emmitt Smith. It took 2 weeks after the season had started, but he did it. Dak Prescott didn't sign till a couple days before the season started. But it was because I don't think there was any of this bad blood created. And I think I have to tend to side with Jerry Jones on the fact that I believe that there was an agreement made. And then Micah probably talked to one of his boys or his agent, and they were like, what the hell are you doing? You need to get your agent in here. And I think that's what ended up happening.
I mean, very well could be. Who knows? I mean, this is something that we'll never know. But it'll definitely be settled on the field because we all know that when playoffs come around, and if Dallas is in the playoffs, they're going to have to face Green Bay. You just know it. It's storybook written.
Week 4, they play each other.
Yeah, I know, but Dallas. I'm talking playoffs. It's going to happen. If they both make the playoffs, they're going to play each other.
That was a strange part, too. I think they said it the last 3 seasons that the Packers have knocked out the Cowboys, and that's the team you decide to trade Micah Parsons to. I don't think Jerry thought about that part of it. It's like there were plenty of teams he could have said. Buffalo, I'm sure, would have died to have him. Cincinnati, right, who needs a defensive, player. I'm always happy to see you, Danny. Always, buddy. But I will say I think he rushed to get Micah out of that locker room. Playoffs? Are you talking about Yes.
Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs?
He's going that Jim Mora route right now. But
playoffs?
Listen, Cowboys received defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Jerry Jones is claiming that the 2 first-round picks are a high value that gives them 4 picks in the next 2 years in the first round. That part of it I would question. I would question it, though, because how many times do first-round picks automatically work out? Are you going to be able to get another Micah Parsons? Maybe not.
Well, I mean, you might be able to get something out of one of them, right? I mean, you would think, they're bound to hit on one. And Is Clark going to be valuable to this defensive line? Probably. But he's not Micah Parsons.
No.
Micah Parsons is a game changer. And again, when you're talking about, going and practicing, you're talking about practice.
Not a game.
Right. So do those players that know that they're going to get theirs really need to be, 100% in a practice? Some stars don't. But, I mean, you'd like to see them put efforts in at all times. But, I mean, reality is they're not going to.
Yeah, and especially today's.
Not everybody is Tom Brady.
And I will say this. I think Danny's a Cowboys fan, and he seems really happy. He's how about them Cowboys? Let's go. So, obviously, he's not too concerned that they no longer have Micah Parsons. Maybe this works out for both sides.
Well, the defense was horrible last year.
Yeah, it was one of the worst in the league. I think 29th or 28th overall.
So is it going to be that bad? I mean, when you think about it, the loss of Quinn really affected this team last year. And I don't care what anybody says, that was a difference.
Yeah, look what he did with Washington, right?
Right, exactly. And now if you're Dallas and you're looking at the standings, you're worried about Philadelphia, you're worried about Washington. And that's a big if Russell decides to look like his Super Bowl days, that could leave Dallas Cowboys on the outside.
I think they're banking on they traded for Pickens. They're banking on a high-powered offense. Dak stays healthy. We're going to put up 30-something points a game, right? You just need your defense to hopefully hold teams to in the mid-20s. It could work. Listen, we've also got to talk about another side of this story, though, Ron. He's a crybaby getting home. So, again, some people, I think he rubbed a lot of Cowboys fans probably the wrong way.
See, what I like about Danny, Eric, he takes the positive out of everything. So he's looking at it, yes, we lost Micah Parsons, but you know what? Addition by subtraction, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I think so. So I was going to say there is another side to this story. There is another side to this story. What about the Green Bay Packers now? What does that put them in the NFC? They've signed him to a 4-year, $188 million deal, $120 million guaranteed. I think up to 136 once it's all said and done. Does this put the Green Bay Packers as the favorites to come out of the NFC? Or do we still contend with the Eagles, the Lions? There's still some good team. Washington.
Well, that's going to make that division really interesting because now they got a guy that can be a difference maker on that defense. And when you look at the rise of that division, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago, and then you have Detroit, also, in prime positions to create some great games. And I think Green Bay was one of those, just above average teams. Now they have a legitimate star on that defense, and that's gonna change things in the NFC. I'd be worried if I was in their division, to be honest with you.
Again, he's a game wrecker. Career 52.5 sacks, 172 tackles, 9 forced fumbles.
Pretty impressive.
4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's only been in the league 4 years, so he is going to be a staple for some time now with the Green Bay Packers. we'll see how this all turns out. So you never know how a trade works out. We'll have to see what Dallas gets next year in the draft and how that pans out. But we are going to have some fun later with our starting five and some of the most shocking NFL trades in history. We're going to give you our starting five trades as well. But great discussion, James and Danny. We appreciate the fact that as Cowboy fans, you jumped on and you wanted to talk about this. But it's going to be an interesting season for Cowboys Nation.
It's going to be a dogfight in that NFC this year.
I will say this.
Some good teams.
Yeah, I will say this too, though, Ron. If you look at if the Cowboys start off slow, it's bad for Jerry. If they can kind of hold water, 500, maybe above 500.
Yeah, they got to play Philadelphia game one, don't they?
Yep. Thursday night, which we will predict later on in the show as well. So in Philly as well. All right, Ron, one more NFL story we thought we'd talk about tonight, and that is Adam Thielen. He has returned to the Minnesota Vikings, so he gets to face Micah Parsons twice a year. Does this make them better? Does this make the Minnesota Vikings a better team?
Well, it doesn't make them worse. I mean, if you're adding a piece, and it's got some skill, it doesn't make you worse. So it does make them better. It gives them another threat out there. I mean, he kind of disappeared, for a little while.
With the Panthers, right? Carolina's.
Right.
Right. You got Andy Dalton and Bryce Young throwing the ball. Danny's already predicting Cowboys victory. Save it for later in the show, Danny, but all right, we'll mark it down for you. 34-31 Cowboys. Look,
I don't know about that.
35-year-old wide receiver, you're not expecting him to come in there and get 15 catches. I will say this, though.
He can contribute.
Yeah, he knows the system. It works out well for him there, so it's not like he's learning anything. Jordan Addison, 3-game suspension to start the season. This gives them at least a piece now to go with Justin Jefferson until Addison comes back. Last season, 10 games, 48 receptions, 615 yards, 12.8 yards per reception. Not shabby. And
no, it's actually pretty good. But when you're on Carolina Panthers, I mean, what do you expect? So he might be able to keep the second, wide receiver spot, because he might be better than what those numbers show.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a losing franchise, and then you go back to Minnesota, and I think it's a good thing for him, and I think he can still be productive.
And very smart by Minnesota to get a guy that knows the system. Now, J.J. McCarthy, who's a rookie, technically, coming into this thing, that he can help along and help that progression. So, good move by Minnesota. I like it. I think they're still going to be competitive this season, even though at first I thought they take a slide. I think they can do enough to be in the playoffs again this season. I think this move helped.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
135 games with Minnesota. He's had 534 receptions for over 6,682 yards, 12.5 yards per reception. So he's a guy that it's going to get you a good chunk of yards and 55 touchdowns. So they're getting a guy that knows that system pretty well. That's not bad for Minnesota.
And when you think about it, 12.8 in Carolina last season.
Yeah.
It's actually better than his average.
Which is crazy to think about. Absolutely. All right, Ron. You want to have some fun with this starting five? Let's do it.
Sure.
1.
Show with Becky. Eric put me on the show. We'll make it fun and excitable. All right. We, for our starting five, have decided, since this big trade, we're going to give you our most shocking trades, and we're going to rank them from 5 to 1, our starting five. We always start off with our honorable mentions. I am first this week. So I will start you off. I have 3.
Are you?
I have 3. And my first one is this trade that just happened, Micah Parsons to the Packers.
See,
I
that's not
think
shocking.
I he's one of the best young
Yeah, but
defensive
it wasn't
players.
shocking. We predicted this was going to happen like
None of us
4
thought he
weeks
would get
ago.
traded. Stop it. None of us thought he was getting traded.
I said he was getting traded.
You said
That's
it
why I
right
put
there.
him on the thing last
Trey
week.
Hendrickson got signed. Terry McLaurin signed. These guys always do this, hold out and sign.
Yeah, I knew
Anyway.
he was going to get traded. So
And I think it's because
you pipe and smoke it.
it's because of who he went to as well, going to the Packers. I thought that was that's shocking. Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins, breaking up Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. Shocking in the fact that Patrick Mahomes, you took away his number one weapon. When you think about building these teams in dynasties, you would have thought they wanted to keep those two together for quite some time, and they
Makes you
traded.
wonder what he was doing there,
right? And my other honorable mention was Joe Montana to the Chiefs. Joe Montana.
Wait, that isn't even in your top 5?
I think it's number 5 actually, because I realized I screwed up. So that'd be my number 5. That's going to be my number 5. Sorry. So number 5, Joe Montana to the Chiefs. Go ahead.
All right, my honorable mentions: Khalil Mack going to Chicago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I remember the hype with him. Oh my God, there was no way you could possibly trade him, and there he goes off to Chicago. Also, I have Von Miller to the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to retire in Denver.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that was a shocking one.
And for different reasons, Randy Moss to the Patriots. I just thought it was so shocking the Patriots got Randy Moss. I was stunned.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it's on the fans' perspective there.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew he was going to get traded.
I could see that. All right. So let's start off. Oh, you have another one.
No, that's it.
Okay. So our starting 5. So again, at number 5 for me is Joe Montana to the Chiefs. You just never thought that you would see him in another uniform after the 49ers. And he played well with Kansas City. Just obviously, I think it was on the back end of his career. So
it rivaled when Joe Montana joined Criminal Minds.
Yes, they're very close. Very close. Very close. Okay. Who do you have at number 5, Ron? Or what trade do you have at number 5?
I have Jared Goff to Detroit for Matthew Stafford. Ooh. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
And they both did well, right? Stafford wins the Super Bowl with the Rams, and Goff has basically made Detroit relevant.
Yes, absolutely. So it worked out for both teams.
Good one.
I thought that was a really good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, at number 4, I have Randy Moss to the Patriots from the Raiders. When he was in Oakland, because it was Oakland at the time, absolutely horrible. And everybody said he was done. His career's over. New England got him for a 4th-round draft pick. And
that's robbery.
And then they break the touchdown record. So, I would say Randy Moss to the Patriots, very shocking because of who he was. I don't think anybody expected him to be top Randy Moss, and he was.
We didn't expect the Patriots to get him.
Yeah, that too. Because we never get anybody like that.
No.
Joe Montana, Hall of Famer. Yes, he is, sir. Yes, he is. 100%. What do you have at number 4, Ron?
Number 4, I have Marshall Faulk to the LA Rams. So the Rams are part of another one on this list.
Yeah.
And, because Marshall Faulk was he was incredible. Wow. What a dynamic player. I mean, he could do it all. Doesn't matter. Run, catch. I want to say that he could even return kicks. Yeah, I think he did that very briefly.
He was that all-purpose back, and if you think about the Greatest Show on Turf, he was kind of such a big piece of that because they could use Marshall Falk anywhere.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that was a really good one. That was a really good one. The fact that Colts gave up on him was pretty crazy too. All right, at number 3 for me, most shocking trades in NFL history: Deshaun Watson to the Browns. What were they thinking when we
that's
heard
shocking to me.
everything that was going on with him?
I know.
Why would any team trade for him? And the fact that they gave him $200+ million guaranteed.
I think that's the shocking part.
To
I
never
don't think
play-
it's him getting traded
to never
because
really
they wanted him out.
But his numbers weren't good even when they traded him. It wasn't like you sat back and go, wow, look at his numbers. He wasn't that good to begin with. So it wasn't even if he had value, I would have said, okay. But he could have been released. Nobody would have touched this guy. The Browns traded for him. I found it shocking.
Yeah. I guess it's the contract that was, and the whole process around it was more shocking than anything.
What is it? Jay Leno, comedy guy. Danny is Jay Leno. Jay Leno. You got to get the chin like Jay Leno, though. He doesn't have the chin. I don't think Danny. I don't think he does.
He doesn't have that chin.
He doesn't have the Jay Leno chin.
The little.
Jay Leno had a chin, bro.
How come he was never Batman?
Because I'm Batman. All right.
I'm Batman.
What do you have at 3?
I have Eric Dickerson going to the Colts.
It's a good one.
I mean, he was a special player, and why would you trade him?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I mean, that was shocking that he got traded.
Yeah, 100%. No, again, Hall of Famer, like one of the best running backs of all time.
Absolutely.
No, that was a good one. All right, at number 2, I have a running back as well, Ron. But he had 0 stats in the NFL when they made this trade. Ricky Williams traded to the Saints. Mike Ditka, which basically started the end of his coaching career, trading away his entire draft that season.
I got to push everything down one from here. I totally forgot about that.
Ricky Williams. And it didn't last very long. Then Jimmy
wearing the dreads and everything.
You remember? And then he got onto the marijuana kick and was out of the league. Then came back to Miami, and then he was actually better in Miami when he finally came back. But yeah, that one was shocking that you gave up every single draft pick you had to get Ricky Williams.
Yeah. So that technically is going to be my number 2. So the one that I had at number 2 has to move down to number 3. That is Joe Montana to the Chiefs. I mean, it was just unbelievable what you're giving away a Super Bowl winner, 4-time Super Bowl winner. You're going to trade away for some guy that used to be in Tampa Bay that really stunk up the joint there.
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe that they would do that. And I mean, it worked out for them.
Yeah,
but
Young was pretty good too. Yeah,
but could you trade that 4-time Super Bowl champion quarterback?
It'd be so hard. Danny wants to know where he's going to be traded to. So, Danny should get his own podcast. Maybe you should.
Danny, you're untradeable. Yeah, we have no desire to trade you away.
He needs his own show, Ron. You should try to work that out. All right, that leaves us at number 1. Our number 1 shocking trade. I think we're going to have the same one. It started the Dallas dynasty. That Herschel Walker to the Vikings trade, which basically got every single one of their players that helped them win 3 Super Bowl championships. And Herschel Walker did absolutely nothing in Minnesota. And I think they try to use him everywhere. Kick return, wide receiver, running back. It didn't matter. It didn't help them win anything.
See, they needed to put him at Waterboy.
Waterboy.
I have the same one at number 1 as well.
I think that'll live
fun. It was a no-brainer. I mean, it was like, how do you go from what you were to nothing? Like, you were insignificant there in Minnesota. It was terrible. And there he is,
With both.
right here, the double picture.
It did exist. He was in Minnesota. In case I know. I am curious now, Ron, since we're talking about this. Hold on a second.
He was traded before, wasn't he? Going to Dallas?
Let's see here. No, he was Dallas. He started his career with Dallas. Then he went from Minnesota to the Eagles. What team was this? Hold on. Holy Toledo. I didn't even realize. To the Giants. I don't remember that. And then back to Dallas. But his time in Minnesota, he in 40 games, he rushed for 2,264 yards and 20 touchdowns. I mean, it wasn't bad, I guess, for 3 seasons.
No, it's not too bad.
No.
I mean, it's not Eric Dickerson numbers, in Dallas.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a little different. Those were like all-time greats numbers when he was in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Danny, Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson.
But great.
Again, could be a name for...
Oh, boy. Don't do it, buddy.
Body parts?
No, we're not doing it. That's never going to happen. Because of that. So Eric Dickerson, after the Colts went to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
And then ended up with the Falcons. The Falcons in 93.
God, he was everywhere.
But with the Colts.
Played like
5 years with the Colts. He rushed for 5,000. He rushed basically 1,000 yards per season. But even if you look at his impact, 5 seasons with the Rams, he had 7,200 yards. With the Colts in 5 years, he only had 5,000 yards. So, yeah. And 16 less touchdowns. So do these trades really work out? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out if this Micah Parsons once does. All right, Ron. Let's talk some NBA, my friend. And we're going to talk about the New York Knicks. Should they have considered hiring Dawn Staley? The reason why we're talking about this, she just recently came out on a podcast and said that she would have taken the job if offered to her. It's the New York Knicks. Why wouldn't you want to coach
I'm still thinking that they shouldn't even have fired Tibbs.
Yeah, I think we could go that way.
I think their whole process was a mistake. So I mean, I'm not saying that who they have now isn't a good coach. And I don't know who would be better, to be honest with you. But I know their roster, and their roster worked very well last season, exceeded expectations. And then you fire your coach? I think it's just stupid. And they're gonna be sorry they did it. And even though you have both Indiana and Boston suffering this year because of injuries to their stars, I don't think they're gonna make it to the championship anyway. I think they're going to be upended by somebody else. And it could be somebody that was below them in the standings.
So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And I'm going to start with this. Are the New York Knicks the most relevant team in the NBA?
Are they the most relevant?
Yes.
No.
Is it considered the mecca of basketball, the Madison Square Garden? I'm just saying.
I don't think it is anymore.
Yes, right? According to people, they still call it that.
I
right?
don't care.
They had an opportunity to become the most talked about franchise in NBA history and put them at the top of the map if they had hired Dawn Staley. They blew this because you even said it. Who's coaching them now, Ron? My point exactly. Mike Brown. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. If Dawn Staley was their head coach today, we'd all be waiting in anticipation for game 1, to game 82 to see how she does in an NBA format.
Every game would have been
And
a sellout.
everybody would have been,
everywhere.
exactly.
Everywhere.
Everybody would have been talking about the New York Knicks. They blew this. And I'm going to tell you now, it's not like she can't coach. 647 and 190 in her coaching career. She's almost 78% winning percentage. And that's with Temple in South Carolina. She's won 3 national titles. She's been to 7 Final Fours. She's been a 2-time A10 Coach of the Year, a 7-time SEC Coach of the Year. I don't even know what USBWA Coach of the Year, but she was 4 times there. AP twice Coach of the Year, and a Naismith Coach of the Year 4 times. So it's not like she can't coach. So I don't think people would even question that.
So let me ask you this, Eric.
We're both on a delay, Danny. We get it, buddy.
Let me ask you this. Did she come out and say that hoping that another team steps up and offers her a job?
I think realistically she wants to get into the NBA. I think she deserves an opportunity to get into the NBA. I think you're right. I think she put it out there saying, listen, if they had offered me the position, 100% I would have taken it, even though she's from Philly. She hates Philly. I'm not backing out and coming back in, Danny. Sorry to say it, buddy. So if at the end of the day, I think the Knicks had such a great opportunity to become the mecca of basketball again and become the team that everybody talks about. And instead they go with Mike Brown. Good coach. Okay. Nothing exciting. Nothing that moved the needle. Nothing that anybody even remembers.
And he's going to have a different style as well. Eric, I just don't think it's a fit. And I don't know what they're expecting. I mean, are they expecting to be a completely different team next season? Because if they are, they're not going to go very far. I mean, you can't change the dynamic of the team to a totally different, scheme of play when you designed it to be one way. I mean, it isn't going to work. It isn't going to work. And I don't know why they would do it. It was stupidity. And this is why I say, no, they are not the Mecca, because they just do stupid things. When was the last time they were relevant in the NBA?
20 plus years ago.
Patrick Ewing, right? And they couldn't win anything because the organization was not good. And Michael
might have played a little
factor.
Just a little.
But Detroit was better than them. Detroit was better. The Celtics were better.
Yeah. I just think, for Dawn Staley to come out and say it, I think you're right. I wasn't even thinking about that aspect of it, Ron, but she's like, listen, I want in.
Yeah. And she deserves to be in.
She'll break so many barriers. But again, whatever team she would go to would automatically become the forefront of the NBA talk for the whole year, for the whole season.
That's it. Curve fire. She comes in.
Right? Like, think about it, though. She does well. If she got the New York Knicks to the postseason again and they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, you don't think everybody would be talking about that going into the following season? Unreal. Bless you. All right, Ron, let's talk some Major League Baseball. Little devastating for the Philadelphia Phillies. Their ace, Zach Wheeler, done for the season. Are the Philadelphia Phillies done for the season?
Yeah, that was the guy, right? That was your... I mean, you still have Aaron Nola, but you don't have... That's a piece that you need to have. And especially when you look at the teams that they're going to have to face, like the Dodgers, the Mets. You have some great hitting on those teams. San Diego. There's a lot of great hitters over there. You can get away with it against a team like Milwaukee, who is not going to pile up massive amounts of runs.
Yeah.
You can get away with it with them. You can get away with it with the Cubs. You can't get away with it with the Mets, Dodgers, and Padres.
You can't.
Yeah. It's just not going to work.
Listen, Christoph Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, Jesus Lazardo, Tijuan Walker, and Aaron Nola are the
Yeah,
starting
it doesn't
five.
kind
now.
of roll off. The
There's not that guy, yeah, right? If you got a 7-game series, who's your three? Who's the guy going 3 games? Right? That was going to be Walker, Zach Wheeler. I'm sorry, Zach Wheeler, and unfortunately, that's a big blow to them because I think they Dodgers all the way. Dodgers,
Well, hey, they can sign Walker Bueller. He's available.
Yeah, he is. But this the other part of this too, Ron. It's a blood clot in his throwing shoulder. Those are always scary. 6 to 8 months keeps him out. So you're talking about possibly into next season a little bit.
It's definitely going into next season.
You get right before you get him. And again,
I think
he's
it's
35,
mandatory,
so it's not
8
like
months, I think.
Yeah, and he's not a young guy, so 35, be probably 36. We may be seeing the end of Zach Wheeler altogether.
It is possible.
Which is sad. Good pitcher. Very good pitcher. Listen, 149.2 innings this season, 10-5, 2.71 ERA with 195 strikeouts, which led the team in strikeouts.
Yeah, I think I think he would have had a shot at getting Cy Young Award. Of course, there's Skeens, who's just 2.207, but the guy doesn't win games, so.
Yeah, I think we're going to take into account he plays with a real team. I don't think that'll hurt him. All right, Ron. That was some good Major League Baseball talk, but it is time for split decisions. Our split decision segment basically give each other 2 more likely scenarios, and then we have to make a decision. I am first this week, Ron. I am going to start you off with the easy one. And when I ask you the second one, ladies and gentlemen out there live, if the screen just goes black, it just means Ron finally quit Sports Unfolded. I am so excited for this episode, for this segment. So I'll start off with the easy one, Ron. Who is more likely to finish first in points per game in the WNBA when the season finishes? Nafisa Collier or Aja Wilson? They're both on the screen right now. Collier, 23.6 points per game. Wilson, 23.4 points per game. Who's going to lead the WNBA in scoring?
I'm going to go with Aja. I think when it comes closer to the end of the season, I think every game is more and more important. And I think she's going to bring her A game. Yeah,
she went on a tear.
She's a great
player. The Aces were going to play really good. So she's dominating. I could see that. I think
if anybody in the league that is being overshadowed by Caitlin Clark, it is her. I don't think anybody else has a gripe.
No, Collie is a very good player too. Player. So, yeah. All right, Ron. That was my first one. That was the easy one. Your first split decision.
Okay, so I guess we'll give you the football one. Right. It's pretty basic. What team will more likely miss the playoffs?
Okay.
Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, or the Detroit Lions. Now, they are all first-place teams, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Detroit. I really think losing both coordinators, and that just happened to work out that way. But I'm a little nervous about that piece. Ben Johnson and his offense and what he was able to do, I don't think you can replicate. So I would be nervous if I was Detroit because I see your offense taking a major dip. I think defensively you could get by. I don't think Aaron Glenn was that great defensively. And they're going to get a lot of guys back from injury. But if I was going all three, Philly might be worried as well, though, because I think that division is probably going to be the toughest in football.
It's a good division.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's a
Kansas
cakewalk.
City's got a tough division, but I don't think
Yeah.
the needle has moved enough.
Yeah, Chargers choke every year. Denver's good. I don't think they're there yet. So I don't think Kansas City falls off the map. But no, very good question. Very good. Good one.
It was a good question.
All right, Ron, maybe take a swig, take a drink, whatever you got. Get ready for the second split decision. And remember how this works. You have to make a decision. That's how this works. Which player, Ron, is more likely to get into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame if they allow steroid users? Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, or Alex Rodriguez? Which player more likely to get into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame if they decide to allow steroid users? You could do the asterisk. I don't care how you do it, but they allow them in. Who's more likely to get in?
Wow.
All right,
well,
buddy.
All right. Looking at it this way, I think if you compare the two hitters, if they're going to let them in because of steroids, that's their problem. But, I mean, Barry Bonds is better than Alex Rodriguez in my book.
Okay.
As far as steroid guys, right?
Okay.
So, to me, it's the question, will they let in a pitcher or a hitter? And I think with this, I think they're more apt to let a pitcher in.
Okay.
Because with a pitcher, I think it's more trying to recover. And therefore, I will say Roger Clemens, even though I can't stand the man. And I couldn't stand him when he was in Boston, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. I just didn't like him. I heard too many stories about him in a negative light. So I will say Roger Clemens, though.
Roger Clemens into the Hall of Fame. If allowed.
And you were hyping this up that it was like, I thought I was going to have to decide something like a Bruin. Or something
no, I just know your disdain for three of those players.
I don't want any of them.
And you have to pick one. I know how difficult it is for you to say any of these three names.
And then say yes. You put Roger Clemens on there to boot, and I don't like him. Mm-hmm. You know.
Well, you hate Barry Bonds.
Well, I do hate Barry Bonds, but I don't like Roger Clemens more. Believe it or not.
That's crazy. Roger Clemens is your pick, Ron. That goes on now for infamy. This is on there forever. You know that.
Yeah, but it's
if YouTube goes down.
If they were allowed.
Now, when you set up your Reels clip, I need that clip to be one of the ones you share. Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame. All right. Your second split decision, Ron.
I don't like you right now, Eric. Danny, do something about this guy. All right.
What would be the name of Danny's show if he was... Danny Dimes.
The Danny Show, right?
The Danny Dimes. Dropping the dimes. Danny dropping the dimes.
Oh, Danny drops dimes.
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe we can make a sitcom with Danny starring.
Yeah. Just like back in the day with like Family Matters, like Urkel. Did I do that? Yeah. All right. What do you got for your second split?
All right. What team will more likely make the playoffs this season?
All right. So we had miss, now make.
Right. San Jose Sharks.
Oof.
Chicago Blackhawks.
Wow.
Philadelphia Flyers or the Boston Bruins. They were all last place in their divisions.
I think the Sharks are still way away from being anything in contention. So I'm taking the Sharks.
They don't have any teeth, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not biting anybody. Yeah, those are those whatever the tiger shark, the ones that are nice when they're in the water. Yeah. That leaves me the Flyers.
There's sharks that are nice in the water?
Well, there's sharks that don't bite. I think there are sharks that don't bite. They're not great whites. They're more like the I think there's a tiger shark or something that's not as bad.
There's
I
a
don't know.
tiger shark, but those are actually mean.
Those are worse.
Those
I don't know.
are
I don't know what they
those
are.
are
Which shark is it?
more mean than a great white.
All right. So what's a shark that doesn't bite? There's got to be a shark that doesn't bite.
I don't know. I don't know any sharks that
Do you
don't
want me to
bite.
Google this? I'm Googling it now.
A whale shark, maybe?
I don't know.
I know a whale shark is the biggest shark.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
Do they bite?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
12 least dangerous sharks that don't bite. Not only are we a sports show, we are educational for the kids
Shark
out
Week.
there. Whale sharks do not bite. They are the world's largest fish, but they do
See?
not bite. They do not bite. A basking shark does not bite. Megamouth sharks do not bite. See, there's a lot of sharks that don't bite. They're more those sharks. Okay. Did I
All right, so
freeze?
what's your answer?
All right.
You forgot
so
now.
that leaves me the Flyers, the Bruins, and
The Blackhawks.
the Blackhawks. I don't think the Blackhawks either are anywhere near this. So that leaves me. Yeah, I don't think so. Though. So that leaves me the Bruins and the Flyers. I truly think, and this is going to sound homer, I think the Bruins, first of all, guys underperformed. I still think Swayman's going to be better than he was. They had a ton of injuries. I think the Bruins honestly will be better this season for the sheer fact that they're going to, if they stay healthy. And Swayman actually plays like he did 2 years ago. So I could see the Bruins being back in the postseason before I'd see the Flyers. So I'm going Boston.
Okay.
Going the Bruins.
I would think the Flyers.
You just don't want to say it out loud because then you don't jinx the team.
No, I say the Flyers because of several reasons. Because a couple of years ago they almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of everybody, right? And they got a lot of young, talented rookies. And they also hired Rick Tocchet as coach. So they're going to play like Rick Tocchet played.
Yeah.
And I think that might get them in because when you start thinking, oh, can Washington not make the playoffs? You know? I mean, you have Carolina who they lost ground during the offseason. You know, the Rangers, they were a train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's possible they can get in there. I think that division is totally up in the air. It could be anybody.
Okay. All right. All right. That was a fun segment. We're going to talk some NHL now, though, Ron. We're going to have a little fun with this one. Which team's new head coach has the most pressure this upcoming season? And we're going to do this in a way where we're going to go each coach and we're going to put them on a pressure meter. 1 being the lowest in pressure, 5 being the most. And then we'll see who's going to burst, like which coach would burst. So we're going to start off with, I just realized the Ranger thing's right in the, oh, look at that. Which brings us to our first coach, Mike Sullivan with the New York Rangers. The Rangers went 39-36-7 last season. Pressure meter is 5. He's going 5. All right. I went 4 here.
The reason why I did 5 is because this team is expected to win.
Mm-hmm.
You're in New York.
Yep, that's why I went 4, New York.
And as some teams decided to go with an inexperienced coach, they went with a guy that has won Stanley Cups. And there is no excuse now. He's got so much pressure on him to win this season.
I could see it.
By far more pressure than any team.
Okay, so New York Rangers, you got Mike Sullivan 5. I got him at 4. Okay, we're still kind of close there. All right, second coach Joel Quenneville. Anaheim Ducks, they were 35, 37, and 10. Where's their pressure meter, Ron?
I have Joe Quenneville at 1
Yeah, I am at
because
2. I am at 2. Okay.
this is a team that, yes, they made some changes. They brought in some players, and they're trying to make a run now with all these
Yeah.
young players
Mhm.
and some guys that they just signed on. But Joe Quenneville has a great pedigree. He's a great coach. Lots of wins. Lots of wins.
I thought you meant the dog food, but okay. Go ahead. Pedigree.
Pedigree. Anyway, I think
Give myself one on that
because they're just starting, I think they're gonna have. He has a free year, in my book, so he doesn't have any pressure on him
one.
this
Agreed.
year.
Yeah, that's why I went 2. Right? You're just trying to turn around the franchise, trying to get them back on track. There's really nobody expecting them to. I mean, they had a decent record last year. Listen, if you can improve on that, I think a lot of people will be happy. But yeah, I agree with you. So you went 1, I went 2. So we're close. We're still close. All right. Rick Tocchet with the Philadelphia Flyers. They were 33, 39, and 10 last year. What do you put the pressure meter for Rick Tocchet?
I actually put a 1 on Rick Tocchet as well. I think, there is some expectations, but with Rick Tocchet, with a losing team, I think, he is, a Flyer. That's where he played the majority of his career. And I think they want this team to grow under him. And, if they tank and they come in last place, I think, there's a problem. But for the most part, he's got the reins for at least another year after this.
Okay. I went 3 here with the pressure meter. And I'm going 3 because it's not about the team. It's about the Philly fans. The Philadelphia fans, they turn quick on people. And I think, right, even though he's a former Flyer and he's got some clout with those fans, how quick they threw batteries at Santa Claus. They don't care. If they're not winning.
So it was assault and battery?
So I think he's at a 3. I think it's the middle of the ground. It's really going to depend on how well they play or not.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a lot of pressure on him.
I went 3. All right. Adam Foote with the Vancouver Canucks. They were 38, 30, and 14. Where's their pressure meter?
I have Adam Foote at number 3. He's a rookie coach here. And Vancouver, though, is in Canada. And they like their hockey.
Come on. When did that happen? They're in Canada, Vancouver?
They moved the city a little bit.
All right.
So I think he's got some pressure on him. And let me tell you, this is not a safe place for Adam Foote. Because remember when they brought in a coach to finish off the season and then they fired him at the end of the season? Just a couple of years ago. I can't remember the coach's name, but he was a long-time coach, great coach, and he did not last there.
Okay.
And they will be quick to fire him.
I went
really bad.
I went 4. I went pressure meter 4 here because they've been close. This team has performed well. We always talk about at the trade deadline, if they pick up a player, they get some guys, right?
They're expected to go back to the playoffs.
Right. And so I think the pressure's on him. So I went 4 here with Adam Foote. We're still very close, though, which I'm pretty impressed because you're the hockey guy. I know nothing. All right. Lane Lambert, the Seattle Kraken, they were 35, 41, and 6. Where's Lane's pressure meter, Ron?
I have him at 2. Mostly because
let's go raise the roof.
Because they're still a new team, and yes, they've had some early success.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to, brush aside that early success and just kind of settle in and build a program.
Agreed.
And I think with a lot of young players, they want this guy to grow with them. So I think he has a little bit of leeway. I think he has at least a year or two to get this team, looking good. Doesn't necessarily have to be good, but they have to look good, in the way they play.
James thought it was the Birmingham Canucks. Yeah, they moved to Vancouver, which is in Canada, in case anybody didn't know. You learned about whale sharks don't bite today, and Vancouver is in Canada. We are an educational program if there ever was one.
We should claim ourselves a nonprofit then.
I think we should. I also went to here, literally what I put on there, still early in the franchise. They haven't really built an identity. So I don't think there's pressure for him to do that. Let's just continue. Like you said, they had early success, but they're trying to build now. They got lucky at the beginning, but now they got to work towards getting to be more stable.
Set them back.
Yeah.
You get a low draft pick.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's move on to Dan Muse of the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were 34, 36, and 12. Ron, where do you have their pressure meter?
I got them at a 4. And you said something earlier. I think the fans and the media pressure is going to be crazy because this is Sid the Kid, I mean, it's time to let it go. They should trade him this year.
Hockey team to Mexico City. James, what's the odds? That's what he wants to know, Ron. What would they be? The Mexico City Bandits? Banjos? No. The
Cacti?
Mexico. I was going to go, tacos.
Oh, they could be the Mexico City Mules.
Ooh. Okay.
The mules that cross.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. All right. I had this for the reasons you just said. I have Dan Muse pressure meter at 5. They are an aging team. There is a small window left for them to even try to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's going to be much patience. To your point, you got Sid Crosby, who's on the back end of his career, right? Later in his career.
I would never have taken this job.
Yeah. So
I would, but not him.
Yeah, I get you. Although they might
ship Sidney Crosby out so fast.
They're going to be sold too, by the way. They're no longer going to be the Fenway Group. He's put them up.
Really?
Yeah. So I would be nervous here if I was Dan Muse. I think the expectation is that you need to win now because you're running out of time. All right. Very good. All right.
That means they're definitely trading him away then.
Marco Sturm. Boston Bruins. Sturm.
There's a big 5 on his scalp.
Okay. Bing Crosby is getting old, man. Bing Crosby, there's your boy, Bing. Is this the second week in a row we talked Bing Crosby?
Yeah, I think so.
What is going on?
Look, I think this guy's got so much pressure on him because he's going to hear it from the fans. He's going to hear it from the media. The media, is third to New York for media? I mean, it might even be number 2. It's not easy being in Boston.
Not at all. But I'll say this, Ron. I disagree with you on this one. I give him a 3. I think the pressure's more on Sweeney and Neely than it is on Sturm.
Yeah, but indirectly it's on him too.
But I think the fans in the media and everybody's going to blame them for what they're putting on the ice versus the coach.
And when you look at what they said, Don Sweeney says, "Oh, we're gonna be very active in free agency,
which they were,
and we're gonna bring in some players."
Right. So I don't think.
And what did they do? They did pretty much nothing. So
I don't think Sturm is at the heart of the pressure right now. He's still a 3 because you're expected to win in Boston.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't think if they don't perform well, that people are going to blame him versus blame Sweeney and Neely and what they did. So I think the pressure would be more on them. So he gets kind of a skate through right now. Again, if they upgrade talent, that's different. That may change.
I just don't think this is going to go well.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I don't think it's him. I don't think I would sit back and go, "Wow, he stunk." I'd blame Neely and Sweeney for what they've put on the ice. But all right, one more, Ron. This was fun. I think we got to do this more with the pressure meter. Glenn Gulutzlin for the Dallas Stars. Is that?
Wait, did I miss one? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Dallas Stars.
You didn't get Chicago Blackhawks?
Oh, no. So I missed one. You missed.
Yeah, I missed the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
Wait, they get a new coach?
Yes. All right. So
I missed that.
All right. We'll skip this one altogether because I had them at a 5 anyway. I had them at a 5. Where'd you have the Blackhawks, Coach?
I had him at a 4.
Okay.
Because
Bedard.
They got Bedard there, and they are expected to get some wins.
Yeah.
If they don't, oof.
Okay. Yeah, and I got
rolling.
And I got Dallas Stars fight. Listen, this has been a franchise that every year we keep saying this is it. They're gonna get it this time, and they haven't been able to do it. I wouldn't want that job. Because
no, I don't. Well, I mean, I would love that job because look at what you got.
At this point. I mean, that's in all fairness. All right, Ron, that was fun. Pressure meters. We might have to do this more. Maybe put little pressure meters on the side. We'll talk.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our pick and roll.
Do that for like an NFL team.
Yeah.
You know, all the players on like the offensive side.
For pick and roll.
All right. Tonight's pick and roll.
You got to roll with it, baby.
So again, not 2002 Major League Draft All-Stars. It is the 19.
I do it to 1 every single time.
Same one last week. You didn't change it. 1990, 35 years ago, episode 35 of season 5. All he needs is love. All I need is that damn graphic to change once in the next few weeks. But 1990s NBA draft picks who at least made one All-Star, and literally most of them only made one All-Star. Derek Coleman, Tyrone Hill, Jason Williams, Tony Kukoc, Antonio Davis, and Cedric Sabalas. We are ranking them from 6 to 1. I am first this week. Here is my start to the pick and roll.
These are such great All-Stars.
They were pretty good. All right. Jason Williams, 7.3 points. He's my number 6. 7.5 rebounds, 0.6 in assists, 1 All-Star. That's his only accolade. He's actually
that ball glued to his hand?
He is more well known for the shooting incident where he killed the limo driver than he is for his basketball career. So Jason Williams at number 6 for me. At number 5, decent numbers. I mean, Tyrone Hill, 9.4 points, 8.6 assists. Not a slouch, pretty good. 0.8 on the assist, 1 All-Star, no other accolades.
Wait, was he an All-Star because somebody got injured and he was a replacement?
He may have been. He could have been a replacement. At 4, I have Antonio Davis, 10 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 1.1 assists, also a one-time All-Star.
I liked him as a player.
He was good with the Pacers. He went, where did he go afterwards? Did he go to the Knicks? He went somewhere.
I don't know.
He went somewhere.
It didn't matter after he left the Pacers.
At 3 for me, Cedric Sabalas, who had a spurt for a little bit. 14.3 points, 5.3 assists, 1.2 assists, a one-time All-Star. At number 2, I went Tony Kukoc, 11.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, 3.7 assists, a one-time sixth man. He made the all-rookie team and a 3-time champion. So I put Tony Kukoc at number 2, which left number 1 for me, Derek Coleman, 16.5 points, 9.3 rebounds, 2.5 assists, one-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA, and a Rookie of the Year that season. I went Derek Coleman at my number one. That gentleman right there. That was my pick and roll.
Not too bad. Not too bad. We only had one thing different. So I still had Jason Williams last. Words can't express how much last he was. He was pretty last.
Pretty last.
Pretty last.
That's technical. I like it. Pretty last.
Number 5, I also had Tyrone Hill. Role player.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonder how he didn't make the Hall of Fame.
So close. They almost there.
Number 4, I also had Antonio Davis. And he might actually be my favorite player of these 5 guys.
Yeah,
6 guys. I do have to count Jason Williams.
You do.
The 10 points per game, pretty good for a solid defender. 7.5 boards. It was all right. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number 3, though, I had Tony Kukoc.
And I could see that. Yeah. I was debating. I almost had him at 4.
His numbers don't match up to Sabalos.
And the crazy thing, he's in the Hall of Fame.
And I know he has 3 championships.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
If you're playing on Michael's team,
let's just say put any of these guys on Jordan's team.
Yeah, they're winning a championship.
So I agreed with you. That kind of took it out of it for me. I think the only reason why I gave him because he won a 6th man and nobody else did.
Yeah, and I get that. But I took points away from him because they put this guy in the Hall of Fame, and he does not belong in there.
I agree, 100%.
Absolutely doesn't belong in there. Tony, I like you as a player. Not as much as Antonio Davis, but I like you as a player. But you do not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Kirk Tales. If he didn't write it, he wrote them.
I think he made the coattails longer so that way he could be in. Number 2, I do have Cedric Ceballos, 14.3 points a game. The guy was pretty good offensively.
Yeah, he was.
So I think he was an above average player where I think most of these other guys are all, average players. Tony Kukoc maybe a little above, but Cedric Ceballos was a player to recognize on the teams that you're playing in the NBA. But number 1, it was not close for me. Derek Coleman. I think he's a much better player than everybody else on this list. And I still don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame either. So they got that right, at least.
He was. Okay,
no, he's not in the Hall.
I was going to say, but he's not.
He's the better of all these players. If anybody was to deserve it, it would be him, and he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I would have put him ahead of Kukoc.
16.5, 9.3.
Hall of Fame. He should have been if he was going to get it. 2-time All NBA.
Yeah.
Kukoc never even got an All Star.
No. Well, he got one All Star, right?
No. I now that I realize he didn't, I think I put him on.
He shouldn't even be on this list.
He shouldn't have been.
So he's out. You're out of here.
Whoever comes with these things stinks. That guy's horrible. We got to get a new person.
Derek Coleman, man. Good
Derek
job.
Coleman.
Nice career.
He was.
Career.
Very good career. All right, Ron. Before we get into our predictions, let's talk some Hall of Fame. Our polls are currently up. Last month, we inducted Cheryl Swoops and Deion Sanders into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. And now you have an opportunity to help us get another athlete into the Sports Hall of Fame. Just join the Facebook Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page and cast your vote. It is as simple as that. And for the Olympics right now, we have Mark Spitz, Jenny Thompson, Matt Bondi.
Biondi.
Why do I say it wrong? Biondi. Matt Biondi.
No, there's an I in there, clearly.
Svetlana Ramashina. I'm horrible. And Ryan Lochte. Hey, I got one. I finally got it right. And Ryan Lochte. Cast your vote today. Those polls are currently open. Mark Spitz is currently leading in the polls on that one. And for the NHL, you got Paul Coffey, Ray Bork, Doug Wilson, Larry Murphy, and Phil Housley. Ray Bork dominating the voting right now. It's not even close. I think he's like 80%.
Wow.
Yeah, he's dominating.
Where are all the Canadians?
Yeah. So
Ray Bork is Canadian.
Did you know, Ron, Vancouver's in Canada?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. All right, but
so is Edmonton.
You can join. Well, it's easy, buddy. We can only teach people one thing at a time. What are they going to tune in next week to learn?
Yeah, because we don't want them to forget about Vancouver. Yeah. So
Facebook, join the Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page today. Cast your vote. Check out the website to see all of the inductees in the Sports Unfolded website. That's sportsunfolded2021.wixsite.com. You can also check out some great programming on Rhode Island Broadcasting.net as well.
It also has the link to the Sports Unfolded website.
So. Awesome. So check that out. All right, Ron, it is prediction time. Last week, another great performance by you picking your NASCAR.
Who is lighting the world on fire for NASCAR?
You are, my friend. You are picked the winner again last week. So if you have a bet out there in Vegas or Atlantic City for NASCAR, I think you want to tune into this episode every week and pick what Ron picks because he seems to be dominating. That's back-to-back wins.
I got 5 winners this year.
Back-to-back wins, too. You won 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row. All right, Ron, it is time to make predictions. If you are joining us live, please let us know who you pick so you can join the chart as well. All right. September 1st, 3-game series, Philadelphia Phillies at the Milwaukee Brewers. I think this Zach Wheeler injury in their rotation, it struggles a little bit more. So I went Milwaukee here at home to take at least 2 of 3.
Yeah, I went Milwaukee as well. It's too bad. Wheeler's injury probably deflates the team. And I think that reflects when you go on the road. I think if they were home, it might be a different story. They might get up for the game at home as opposed to being on the road, and the sales are down.
Yeah, and I would say very quietly, right? The Brewers are just continuing to play great baseball. James going Milwaukee. All right, James, you got to bounce back, man. 2-6 last week. Also on the first series between the New York Mets, and they are at the Detroit Tigers. Who do you have?
I'm going to go the Mets for the same reason as Philadelphia. That Philadelphia injury is going to perk up those Mets a little bit. It's like, hey, we can take this division. And I think they're going to be up for this series, and they're going to know that Detroit is a possible team that could be in the World Series, and they want to play well. And I expect them to do it, so I'm going with the New York Mets.
Yeah, I went the Mets as well. I think they're playing much better baseball. I'm not as convinced on Detroit. They've kind of been hot and cold after the All-Star break. So I went Mets here, and I think you're right. 5 games out of first. So, but not the Mets. So he's going with the Detroit Tigers.
Yep, and Milwaukee.
All right. James going Detroit. WNBA action tomorrow. New York Liberty at the Phoenix Mercury. I am done believing in this Liberty team when it comes to big matchups. They have seemed to fail at all costs when it comes to playing the top teams. So I went Phoenix here at home.
Yeah, I went Phoenix as well. Liberty are human. And Phoenix right now seems to be one of the best 2 teams in the league, along with Minnesota, and I went with Phoenix.
Vancouver is in Canada, and the Liberty are human, people. What else can we teach you today? Holy cow, we are on fire, my friend. Liberty are human. James going with Phoenix. All right, we got clean sweeps so far. September 4th, Ron, you got the Minnesota Lynx at the Las Vegas Aces. Both teams playing great basketball. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Minnesota. I think, like I said, Minnesota, Phoenix, best two teams in the league. I'm going to ride with Minnesota Lynx.
I agree. Listen, Vegas has played some remarkable basketball the last month or so. But Minnesota's out to win it all. They lost last year in the finals. I think this is a game they want to prove that they are the best team in the WNBA. So I went Minnesota here. Not bad so far. What do you got, James? He's going Minnesota as well. Look at this. Holy cow. We're either all going to be really good this week or we're all going to be really bad.
So nobody's missing.
All right.
Missing Lynx.
Thursday night, NFL kickoff season opener. The Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. So we got Danny's.
Danny
says Dallas.
All right. We'll give Danny his. All right. I am going Philly here all day, every day. There's no doubt in my mind that Philadelphia at home raising the banner. There's no way they lose this game.
I also went with Philadelphia for pretty much those same reasons and the fact that they are a better team than Dallas.
And they're down a player. Some guy named Parsons, I heard, is out.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, I think that might be a thing.
He got fired.
Philly by
30.
James.
That's coming from a Dallas fan.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. All right. Guess what's back? College football, my friend. Tomorrow, we've got the number 1 Texas Longhorns at number 3 Ohio State Buckeyes. Who do you have, Ron? This is going to be.
I have Archie Manning for the win.
So you're going Texas. I think he's going to struggle on the road, his first true start, and the pressure on him. Ohio State defending champions. I think Ohio State comes in and wins this thing. I'm going Buckeyes here. Go Buckeyes.
Hey, you have a shot so far gaining 1 on me.
This is going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game tomorrow.
Fun.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. I think there's a big kickball tournament going on.
James going Texas. He's a big Texas guy. James should be a Cowboy. Also, tomorrow night, number 9 LSU Tigers at number 4 Clemson Tigers. So battle of the Tigers. Which Tiger wins?
Yeah, I'm going with the Clemson Tiger. I think they got a little bit more roar and bite.
I am going with Clemson as well. I think at home, LSU usually struggles to start the season. And I think Clemson's going to be a team to watch for a national championship this year. Just keep an eye on that.
We're not predicting the North Carolina game?
We thought about it, but we're going to let Bill see what Bill does first. James went Clemson as well. Glad he didn't do an emoji there because it would have been a tiger and we still He's taking a tiger. All right. MLS.
Hey, guaranteed to win.
Yeah. Major League Soccer, Ron, the Philadelphia Union are at the Football Club Cincinnati. I'm going Philly here. They are the best team in Major League Soccer right now.
Are they?
They are number 1.
And Cincinnati is number 2.
Yes, sir.
I'm going Cincinnati at home.
Cincinnati at home.
In a thrilling 0-0 tie.
The old MLS action ceases to amaze me. We may not be picking soccer.
It's a great league.
Cincy, James going Cincy. All right. And finally, Ron, can you go 3 straight on the 31st? Cookout Southern 500 from Darlington. We need a top 5 driver. I am going with a man who has raced here 7 times and has the most lead laps, and Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick. That's a good one. That is a good one. I think. I think I'm gonna go. I don't know if I've ever picked him before. William Byron.
Okay.
I like William Byron in this.
I think I picked him last week. That didn't go well for me.
Well, that's because you did it at
you
the
and
wrong
James.
track.
You and James. There you go, buddy. All right. Let's see if we get a top 5 driver out of that. All right, Ron. Before we get into our final thoughts and end this amazing show, I would love for you to tell all the wonderful people out there how they could become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded and get their ad broadcast every single week on our show.
I would love to tell them that too. So, why don't I go to it, right?
All right. I like it. I like where this is headed.
Sponsor the show. Your ad will be here. We will read the ad. So not only will people see it, but it will be heard on the audio version for Spotify, Red Circle, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and of course, WDJY in Georgia, Dallas, Georgia. It would be heard there. And we got thousands and thousands of listeners on the radio in the Atlanta area. So do that. Send us an email at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information that you need to know in a media kit. And Eric, like I say all the time, it's just like going to, your local coffee shop, buying a nice iced coffee with a strawberry frosted donut.
Ooh,
Strawberry frosted.
And so not only will be seen, heard, and all over the country, you could be heard in Vancouver, which is in Washington State, by the way, in Washington. So there is a Vancouver in the United States. I just looked it up. But possibly in Canada as well.
Wait, what?
There's a Vancouver in the United States.
Is there really?
Yeah, Washington. Yeah, Washington, USA. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So we taught you even more today on Sports Unfolded. He's looking it up. He doesn't believe me. Vancouver.
Oh, I believe you. I don't believe you, but
wow.
I don't know.
It says it's.
I just see all the stuff for Canada.
It is. If you put it in Vancouver in USA.
Oh yeah, Vancouver, Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vancouver is a city in Clark County, Washington.
Yeah. Huh? Look at that. We taught some people some.
So there are 2 Vancouvers.
Two Vancouver.
Oh, I cannot wait to do Going On Daily with Becky now.
There you go, buddy.
Because I have to use it.
You have to. So continue to like, share, follow us on all our social media platforms. So many different ways you can watch our show, listen to our show. We want to thank those that continue to help support us as well. 99.1 WDJY FM in Dallas, Georgia. We're on every Saturday at 1 p.m., as well as 990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island, on every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., and also SECTV Public Access Channel 12 on every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Thank you for the support. Ron, it is final thoughts time. Not final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything happening in the world today. I am first. I have a couple. I will start us off. First and foremost, I do want to say I'm sad I'm working tomorrow because I wanted to watch the final time Lee Corso will be on College Game Day. It is his final show. They are going to do a little thing for him. But when I'm not a big college football fan, and I know you're not as big as well, but you can't tell me we haven't seen a million clips of him putting on one of those big goofy hats. If it was Alabama with the elephant, or LSU, and he brought such he brought such an excitement to sports media, and he will be missed. So Lee Corso tomorrow, last time he will be on College Game Day. I would suggest if you are a college football fan or just a fan of sports in general, it'd be really good to watch. So check that out. And then I do want to, and on a sad note, give our prayers and thoughts to those victims for another senseless school shooting that happened this week in Minnesota. Again, another great way to show how we start our school year is by a school shooting. And again, it just seems to continue to never change. So our thoughts and prayers are with those victims, in all those that are suffering. There was 17 injured, as well as 2 that have lost their lives in that senseless crime. And that was my final thought.
Yeah, that was also my final thought too. But it is quite hard to go over that. And I know I had to put the news out there when I was going on daily earlier this week. I believe it was Thursday. And I had to break that news. And it's just so sickening doing it over and over and over again. And, and look, I don't know why these things happen, but I gotta tell you, it might have something to do with what we're putting in our food and drinks. And I just look at these common denominators. It's, back when I was a kid, this stuff didn't happen. We still had weapons and all of that in all the cities, but it was never like this. When you start looking at the food industry and you see all these chemicals that we're putting in the food just to preserve, you got to wonder what it's doing to our brains. And I just implore everybody to start doing your own research on what's in the ingredients. Take a good look at that and try to find an alternative without all that chemical. And I don't know what the answers are. Yeah, do we need gun laws changed? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have the answers. If I did, I would certainly be running for office.
Please don't.
I'm just saying, just do the research and stop taking, the word of politicians.
Yeah, I will say this too. I heard an interesting stat. There are more guns in the United States than there are people now. When you really start to deep dive and think about it, again, we're not trying to say either way, but that's pretty alarming to me that there's more weapons in the United States than there are people now.
Yeah,
maybe that might be a little bit of a problem too.
It's not good.
Ron, thank you for sharing great points. I've had a great time. I want to thank Danny and James for joining us live. I want to thank all those that are going to join us afterwards. Please like, share, follow, tell your friends about it. Join us every Friday night for the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded. We love doing it. Check out the voting for the Hall of Fame and let us know who you want to get in. Ron, I will see you next week. Always a blast. Thank you for your time today. And all we ever ask for, Ron, and I'm going to continue to do it because it may happen someday, is that we finally get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.